gonna stand here and wait. I wanna just decide what is to be my fate. Alone all by myself, I'm not just gonna stay here and wait.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the June 8th, 2024 edition of Really Cool News. I'm Jim Finch, and I'll be your host again as we feature stories on Regan Benson, Jeremy DeWitt, Tom CPU, and of course, Long Island Audit's big win in the GoFundMe daily total yesterday. We are taking these couple of days of light news to expand our reach on social media, and soon you'll be seeing our news stories on TikTok, Instagram, and maybe in YouTube Shorts. If things go well, we may hold a one-time fundraiser to help out with the yearly cost for Buffer, a social media distribution platform that will make our lives so much easier and expand our reach. We're doing a free trial right now and we'll be providing details on our needs at a later date. As always, we do have Cash App, PayPal, and GoFundMe if you'd like to help out the channel. This is how we eat, and so any help would be much appreciated because we do like eating. With that, it's a really short day for news, 4 stories and a flashback, not the massive edition we produced last night, but hey, news is news. Remember, we do have an all-star panel coming up at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. where it counts, 6 p.m. Central, and 5 p.m. Pacific Time. Topics include the stories we featured today, plus so much more. With that, let's get on with the newscast. If it ever starts. Here we go. Long Island Audit takes Friday crown. Sean Paul Long Island Audit Rias did the unexpected on Friday and won the day, despite no competition from any of the other GoFundMe competitors and no reasoning for a single donation victory. Rias made a whopping $10 in donation on Friday, outpacing everyone and, strangely, even outpaced Jose Chili de Castro, who is riding high with a string of victories over the week after revamping his YouTube channel. De Castro's efforts ended on Friday as his only content consisted of a good deal of his shorts edited into an unhosted 2-hour live stream, which has received 5,300 views as of press time. Gone, however, were any direct mentions of his products, examples of those products, or URLs to his GoFundMe campaigns, ending the week of positive changes his channel apparently made before reverting back into stagnation. Long Island Audit's win was also as lifeless as it sounds. Rias now is at the point where he can afford to rent his own billboard truck to harass people with. He also allegedly has the cash to pay the fines associated with parking those trucks where he shouldn't, and do an in-your-face to anyone who questions the absurdity of having such a truck at hand. The simple fact that he has so much money from revenues on his YouTube channel, which pales in comparison with De Castro's channel and total subscribers, means that his GoFundMes, while overall successful, are unneeded. They're just extra sprinkles on the side of the gold-flaked double chocolate ice cream cake that he's ordered to show his decadence, and not because he was celebrating anything. We do, however, have an apology to make. A donation appeared on Christopher for Public Safety Reader's GoFundMe campaign of $20 that was dated 4 days ago. It wasn't previously listed, and we're not sure of what delayed its appearance, since we refresh every page multiple times each morning before collecting the numbers. The $20 donation would have given him the win for June 4th, 2024, as that day had previously been listed as a goose egg day. We apologize to For Public Safety for this error, and will try our best to ensure that it does not repeat. As always, if you'd like to help us out, we do have a GoFundMe campaign of our own located in the scroll below. All proceeds go to keeping the lights on, eating, and writing new stories to feature here and on ReallyCoolSite.org. Regan Benson live streams from Denver. Regan Benson returned to live streaming on Friday with her monthly showcase of formerly homeless Denver resident Robert, who Benson says she saved from certain death in Inglewood, Colorado in January of 2024. Robert is the homeless man who had been camping out on a bench alongside a busy street in Inglewood at the start of the year. Inglewood police had just cited him for public urination when Benson got involved, determining that Robert could not walk. Benson put Robert in a hotel using funds from her charity organization, the Helping Hands for Dignity Coalition, and got Robert medical treatment for his foot, which was severely frostbitten. In the months that followed, Robert's foot was amputated, and he has been in recuperation housing in Denver since then. Benson makes it a habit of checking in on Robert, doing live streams, such as this one on Friday, as she takes Robert to do errands or buy snacks before returning him to the facility. The Friday live stream was typical, though Robert was more involved and more lucid than he normally appears, making jokes on camera and putting a plea in for someone to buy him T-shirts with fucking pockets that were listed on his Amazon wish list. Robert was also seeking help with the purchase of a mini fridge off of his Amazon wish list, which was later purchased for him. As the live stream began, another homeless advocate gave Benson the news that he was working on getting Robert accepted at another facility that focused on giving patients a bit more independence as they recuperate from their injuries. Benson later cut the live stream short as she needed to use the bathroom and took Robert in search of public restrooms in the downtown Denver area. Jeremy DeWitt refuses plea deal. Police enthusiast and convicted sex offender Jeremy DeWitt turned down a plea deal for 9 outstanding charges in Florida on Friday and will be going on trial for those charges on June 13th. According to both the Jeremy DeWitt Show by Police Tube's Uncle and So You Dated a Police Impersonator, Love Shane YouTube channels, DeWitt reportedly turned down an offer where the prosecution would drop 2 of the 9 charges against him in exchange for an overall sentence of 9 years in prison. DeWitt is now expected to face up to 27 years in prison if convicted at next week's hearing. Due to Florida's laws, if DeWitt is convicted of federal tax evasion charges, that sentence will not be served concurrently and will start after his current possible sentence ends. The convicted sex offender and police impersonator recently made news for an April arrest after failing to report a change in vehicle ownership as required in relation to his status as a sex offender. He was found to have a warrant for his arrest out in Orange County when apprehended in April, though those charges have yet to be brought to trial. DeWitt originally made headlines for multiple arrests for impersonating a police officer in the early 2000s, including a 2005 arrest where he was found guilty of abusing a teenage girl, which put him on the registered sex offender list. He's been in trouble for failing to properly abide by terms related to the sex offender list over the years, including an order to take down his YouTube page, which remains alive but inactive to this day. This is a developing news story. Tom CPU threatens witness in Reed case. In an end to a very big week for the Karen Reed fan who goes by Tom CPU, he was the guest of Karen Reed's family at one of the hearings in her murder trial this week, and he finished the week by threatening prosecution witness Caitlin Albert. Caitlin Albert is the daughter of homeowner Brian Albert, whose home was the location where Boston police officer John O'Keefe's body was found in January of 2022. Karen Reed's defense team, through acolytes such as Tom CPU, have spread a rumor that Brian Albert, along with Brian Higgins and Albert's nephew Colin, murdered O'Keefe at a gathering at Albert's home and left him for dead in the front yard. Scorn has been placed on Caitlin Albert as again the same group of acolytes and Reed's defense team claim that Canton Emergency Service technician Katie McLaughlin, who attempted to save O'Keefe's life, allegedly lied about a lifelong friendship with Albert and was under instructions from Albert to say that Karen Reed said, I hit him," while at the crime scene. It is unclear what set Tom's CPU off on Friday, but by Friday afternoon a snippet of Friday's live stream was circulating featuring the Karen Reed devotee threatening the life of Caitlin Albert and her future children, who Tom says he has plans for. Since this is the internet, within hours, Tom's threats were remixed and re-released by those who oppose the innocence of Karen Reed, with his statements being backed by a horror movie backing track. Tom CPU is best known for live streaming as he stands outside of the court hearings for both Karen Reed and Turtle Boy Aiden Kearney. His off-putting habit of touching women's hair and oddness around children has been noted by observers as a personality quirk of one of Karen Reed's most ardent supporters. Rumors that Tom CPU once was selling a box filled with women's used pleasure devices have not been confirmed, but persist as a defining characteristic of his reputation within both sides of the community. It is unclear if his indirect threats towards Caitlin Albert and her future children have been reported to police as of press time, but serve as a stark and scary reminder of what happens on a day when Reed's trial is not in session and her supporters are free to threaten and abuse those with opposing viewpoints. Flashback to June 8, 2023, Regan Benson arrested in Denver. YouTuber and homeless activist Regan Benson was arrested for the second time in 2 weeks at Denver's District 3 police substation Wednesday night. Benson arrived at the substation and started live streaming with the stated intention to attend the monthly Citizens Advisory Board meeting. As she passed through the front door, Benson walked past several signs that indicated that video recording was prohibited in the building. The YouTuber quickly found the community room, walked into the meeting, and headed directly to the group of police officers assembled at the back of the room. She then approached Sergeant Brian O'Neill and asked if it was okay to record the public meeting. He responded no and indicated that he needed to turn his body cam on. Benson walked past him, apparently in search of a chair to sit in, when she was grabbed from behind and a shadowy form of a police officer was seen as the video cut off. During the brief period that Benson's live stream feed was frozen after the arrest, a number of her community members reached out to the Denver Metro Police Department and confirmed the arrest. This is the second time in 2 weeks that Benson has been arrested inside the District 3 police substation. Her previous arrest resulted in a 20-plus hour detainment, which she recently described as triggering her kidney problems that resulted in pending surgery. Later, Frog UK Transparency reported that activist and YouTuber Benson was released on a personal recognizance bond at a little before 1 a.m. local time in the morning. Benson was arrested on an outstanding warrant for interference, issued on June 2nd. It's unclear at this time what the warrant stemmed from, and we will update the story with updates as they come. Well, folks, I wasn't kidding. That was a short one today. It was another mixed day here in north central Pennsylvania with rain and sunshine splitting the day, and I got a lot of things done while we had a very short day with news. We got a lot done with our social media expansion today again as we opened with, if Buffer works out, we'll be doing a fundraiser for the roughly $300 it'll cost for 1 year of the social media aggregation service. We're also experimenting. The experimenting we've done with social media keywording using the platform is very, very nice. We don't want to be replaced by the AI overlords anytime soon, but their keywording suggestions will come in handy as we're trying to expand our audience. Speaking of expansion, we're now on TikTok, which should have just gone out in Facebook and on YouTube's chat. We're just starting out there right now, so videos will slowly populate as we find our style. Remember, tonight's All-Star panel coming up at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. where it counts, 6 p.m. Central, and 5 p.m. Pacific Time. Topics include the stories we featured today, plus so much more. We'll be back with you tomorrow night at 6 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. where it counts, 4 p.m. Mountain, and 3 p.m. Pacific for our regularly scheduled newscast. This will be followed tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern, yada yada, for our week in review. Karen Reed murder trial coverage resumes at 5 p.m. or at 8:55 a.m. on Eastern. 8:50. Jim can't talk today. 8:55 a.m. Eastern on Monday. This week sees 4 full days of testimony with Tuesday off. So Phil, Hank, and myself will be going into overdrive with coverage this week. With that, see you in about 90 minutes for our all-star panel right back here on Really Cool News. If you stick around for a post-credit scene, you may be seeing more secrets revealed about Pope Phil and the sisterhood of the mothership of the Fellowship of the Traveling Pants. Just warning you, folks, Pants is now interstellar. That's all I'm going to say.